On this, a most auspicious of days, my friends, I give you a collection of cope and seethe. Because you deserve it. Because you have suffered through high gas prices, high rent, a bad economy in general. The jobs report that just came out was miserable. An open border, an escalation of war, you deserve it. The people who have been pushing this country to the brink with a psychotic cult ideology are losing their minds. And we deserve to understand it. Now, I know many of you at home will laugh and you'll say, aha! But I, good viewer, take this academically to assess the mental state of these individuals who would burn this country down like SpongeBob and Patrick Star while yelling, "We saved the city." You know the meme? Yeah, they burned everything down and claimed they saved everything. And that's what we've been dealing with. But the adults are back in the room. And so we have a collection of cope and seethe, my friends, and I will tell you this. Some have said, we must be brutal, we must punish. Alas, it is true. But not so much brutal, but we must punish. Why? Like a caring parent, we punish out of love. I do not want to see anyone suffer. I don't want to see anybody cry. It's kind of weird to see men crying, but okay, I guess. But either way, there needs to be a hard lesson to the people who were burning this country down, why they're wrong, and why we have said enough. Now, of course, we have a collection of videos, which I've already played in an earlier segment, but I have much, much more, my friends, because Reddit is a glorious cesspit of whinging. Here's a woman filming herself crying because she's a narcissist with histrionic personality disorder, saying, "I just woke up and saw the results. I swear to God, I'm done with you self-hating, disgusting, racist." Oof. Not too polite. Not too polite indeed. But my friends, let's take a mosey on over to Reddit and see how they're doing. Here's one from Free Folk. "Med would sooner put the realm to the torch than see a woman ascend to the Iron Throne." Is that what you think? My feelings after last night. Reddit is not, here's a top comment. Reddit is not an accurate reflection of reality. Never has been. Can we, no, I don't want to read that guy. How do I close this? There we go. LMAO, the post under this one was this, and it's Donald Trump sitting on the Iron Throne. Cope and seethe. One comment says, "Funny how people make it seem women are not voting, kind of insulting to them." Yeah, in fact, women turned out and they voted for Donald Trump. Here we go. From the New York Times subreddit, to those who voted Trump. Let's zoom in on this so you can read it better. F off, F all the way off to the edge of the planet, F off even more. When you get to the edge of the solar system, keep effing off. When you get to the end of the Milky Way, continue to F off until the end of time. You just killed our country. Oh, poor babies. Listen, we won the popular vote. So let me say this with righteous fervor. You are on the wrong side of history. How does it feel when each and every one of you psychopaths went out, smashed windows, and set fires and said, "You're on the wrong side of history," to the people begging you to stop? The Chaz Chop. How many people were shot and killed in Portland? The riots, 30 plus dead in the Summer of Love. And you dared to say you're on the wrong side of history. Sorry, Trump won the popular vote. Looks like you were on the wrong side of history the whole time. I wonder how that feels. Top comment says, "I'm a Democrat, but if you're shocked by this, you've been living in a fantasy world." Every speech of Trump to his followers began like this: "How's your wallets? I will lower prices." And that's it. He beat it into people's brains that high prices are blue and saving money is red. If you kept up with Fox News, that's what you would see time and time again. When people are worried about prices, also they hate immigrants. They don't want to hear anything else, sadly. It's as simple as that. Oh, poor babies. Guess what? You're on the wrong side of history. It ain't about Fox News. Trump won the popular vote. These people aren't all watching Fox News. You were just wrong. Accept it. What did I say in 2020? I said I was wrong. Wow. How hard was that? Oh, but there's more. Here we go. We have this post from Fluent in Finance. This guy says, "Now that Trump might become president again, Palestinians will no longer exist. Ukraine will be taken over by Russia. We'll be paying $3,000 more per year because of tariffs. Our taxes will stay the same, but don't worry, Elon's will go down. Women won't have health care. Mass deportations of both illegal and legal immigrants. $6 trillion will be added to the debt. And the leader of the country is a sexual abuser, pedo, rapist, racist who tried to overthrow the government. And you know what? You are on the wrong side of history. So cry and whinge and cope and seethe, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. Here we are with Star Wars memes. So this is how liberty dies. And there's old sad Natalie Portman looking off to the side. I don't know. I kind of thought liberty was dying when the Democrats waged lawfare against Donald Trump, his associates, and his lawyers and tried to arrest and lock up the frontrunner for the presidency. Forgive me, they literally did arrest him, and he's still pending sentencing despite being president-elect. So what are they going to do now? They're supposed to sentence him in a couple of weeks. Is Donald Trump going to, as president-elect with Secret Service protection, submit to New York? You are nuts. Liberty was dying because Democrats and Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and the rest of their ilk were waging lawfare and abusing the DOJ for political purposes, and they've been doing it for a long time. We all know about how the IRS went after the Tea Party. So enough games. Liberty was dying. We just saved it. You are on the wrong side of history. Feels good, doesn't it? Batman Arkham Reddit. And I got to tell you, my friends, how did I find these? I literally went to the front page of Reddit and just scrolled down and opened the first 10. Because it's all this. Why did the U.S. people vote Trump? Are they stupid? And it's a picture of Batman punching Trump. You are on the wrong side of history. It's so much fun to say. Here are our good friends over at Witches versus the Patriarchy. Trump won. Here's what we do next. I know this is not the outcome that we hoped for. Patriarchy effing struck back last night. And I know a lot of us are not okay this morning. We are hurt, disappointed, and lost. Here's what we do. Take a few minutes to feel our feelings. Maybe listen to a sad song or two and cry it out. Then we go to work. We go to our jobs. We make money. We go to the gym, lift weights, get in our walk or run, eat nourishing food, plant a seed, or water a houseplant. Check on our friends and loved ones, especially if they are queer or not white. Give our pets an extra treat. Reach out to our friends and loved ones who are struggling because we need to survive. We have to be strong for the next few years. I don't know what those will look like. What I do know is that we have all the people depending on us. I can tell you, it'll look like 2017 to 2021. She goes on to say, I'm assuming it's a she, remember, we are witches. We are the poison ivy that you thought you uprooted last year but pops back up in the summertime. We are the blackberry brambles that cover the burned ground and grow thorns to protect your young fruit. Sure. It's very easy to pick blackberries. Whatever. We are the oaks. In fact, blackberries, because I have several blackberry plants myself, like a lot. The brambles come out and you easily just pick them off. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, that one got to me because we pick blackberries in our backyard. We are the oaks that the lightning split, but still shade the ground and shelter the outcasts. That's great. And you're on the wrong side of history. Feels good, doesn't it? Feels good to tell these people that they're the wrong side of history. They deserve it. John Oliver. The John Oliver subreddit. I am devastated. I know it's not over, but it feels like it is. I'm sad, I'm angry, and frankly, I don't know where to turn. Well, John Oliver was lying to you the whole time, and you deserve this because John Oliver, he was on the wrong side of history. It's getting hard to say. But we got more, my friends. I'm going to give a shout out to Cenk Uygur because you know what? At least he's taken this with grace. He says, Trump and MAGA, congratulations. I hate it, and I think it's a huge mistake. But you won fair and square. Trump tried to steal the last election, but he won this one, and that's also democracy. If the American people want him back, that's the final word. I believe in democracy. Shout out to Cenk Uygur. I respect this, and I mean that sincerely. He's right. This is the only thing you can say if you're trying to be reasonable. Cenk was caught off guard. I don't know if he was actually... People were saying he was crying on his show last night. Men crying over an election is quite strange to me. Even if Trump lost, I'd have laughed. Sure, I'd be kind of worried, but I'm not crying over losing an election. You just got to do what you got to do. You wake up the next day and you figure it out. And here we are. But my friends, Andrew Yang, he says, Joe Biden should have stepped aside in January, not July, and then given whoever emerged as the nominee permission to talk about him however they wanted. Andrew, you're on the wrong side of history. If he did that in January, RFK Jr. would have been the nominee, and we all know it. But now on to our friends. Dean Withers, I'm devastated. Good night. You should be. Because you're on the wrong side of history. All that grifting, and where did it get you? Should have stuck. Wow. Jeez. Dean Withers, let me tell you, maybe if you had not canceled on us and run crying, oh no, I can't go on Timcast. So we booked Dean Withers. He agreed to come on. And then the week of, he cancels. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I just can't make it. Won't reschedule. Meanwhile, this guy has the nerve to go and rag on other people for not debating him. It's because he's a coward. And you know what? He's devastated. But hey, you're on the wrong side of history. Today, America has let down so many. No, they didn't. We won the popular vote. That's our mandate. That's the will of the masses. You are the fringe minority who needs to step aside and respect democracy. Ah, Harry Sisson. Tonight was devastating for the U.S. No, it wasn't. We won the popular vote. You are on the wrong side of history. The future is a lot darker now. Good night, everyone. Yeah, sorry. Harry, you represent the fringe minority, and it's time to step aside for democracy. He has so many good ones. He says, I really thought better of America. I thought we wouldn't elect a criminal, sexual abuser, fraudster, and bully to be president. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. Well, it could be because you're a liar. You lied. Trump isn't those things. They are lying, and we can all see through those lies. Tonight, America failed us all. Who? The fringe cult that thinks they're the majority when they're not? We won the popular vote. And I think I may have one more. It's a good one. From 2 X chromosomes. Is anyone else having a panic attack right now? I'm so lost and disappointed watching the preliminary results come in. I'm confused. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I just don't understand how many people in my country have been brainwashed to the point of voting against their own interests. How did we get here? I agree. How did 66 million people vote for Kamala Harris? It's crazy. My friend, we won the popular vote. You're on the wrong side of history. Tell me this. When the entire corporate machine is preaching one thing, and all of independent media is decentralized with various ideologies coming to a similar conclusion independent of each other's ideology, which one makes the most sense? Yeah, you are in a cult. You are brainwashed, and we have the popular mandate. Top comment says, no panic, just totally devoid of hope, like properly hopeless. Like I don't think I've ever been in my life, and I'm nearly 50. There's no coming back from this. Thank heavens. I hope there's no coming back for you. This cult needs to be told enough. We want merit, hard work, respect, and responsibility. You work hard, you play hard. If you don't, well, then too bad. This liberal ideology of no responsibility and luxury is psychotic. You go back a couple hundred years and people would wake up and they'd farm. And they'd say, if we don't farm now, we die in the winter. We have escaped that. But those of us who still understand that you have to remain vigilant to maintain such luxuries are fed up with those who would lay around becoming morbidly obese while demanding we pay their health care. Enough. And you know what? I'll tell you one thing else. The sleeper issue of this election was certainly gender ideology. Jake Paul said it. He said, I would be dead before I allow a man in the bathroom with my daughter. How many men do you think felt that way? Yeah, well, they're banking on people not having kids, but the times they are a-changin'. I'm hoping and I'm praying that should the Republicans take the House, and it's looking good, but it's not guaranteed, then they actually do their job. Right now, it is a 94.7% chance, according to Decision Desk, the Republicans will have the House, Senate, and presidency. Praise be. Because when Trump won the first time, that was true. And what did we get? Paul Ryan. The neocons rejected Trump. But this time around, Trump is the leader, and the mandate is clear. Now, I certainly think Republicans will do a lot of nothing. But I demand. And you know, we're not too far from D.C. And with all of you by my side, standing up, we can put the pressure on Congress, the Senate, and the executive branch and say, we came out. We voted for you. And the mandate is clear. Election security, commutations and pardons for J6ers, border security, an end to the endless wars. Because I tell you this, if they do not get a grip right away, then we are going to hold them to the coals. I will not tolerate Republicans sitting around making excuses for why they're not implementing the change we so demand. Now, don't get me wrong. Donald Trump said when it comes to replacing the ACA, we have concepts of a plan. I'm fine with that. I don't care. If they come out and they say the Affordable Care Act, we don't know that we can just get rid of right now. It's entrenched. I'd say, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's not the apocalypse for us. The border is. I want to see National Guard, if need be, working alongside federal law enforcement and state guards to secure this border now. Concertina wire, bollard fencing, all of it. I want to see deportations right now, starting with, as J.D. Vance pointed out, the criminals, the people who are victimizing our communities, Tren de Aragua. And then we can start peacefully and calmly deporting those who have just overstayed or entered illegally. The Democrats want to create this narrative of Trump as Hitler, blah, blah, blah. What I want to see is local law enforcement, a couple guys walk up to somebody and say, sir, you've overstayed your visa. You're here illegally. I'm sorry, but we're going to send you home. And that's the worst case, isn't it? Democrats acting like that's concentration camps. Dude, seriously? Your worst case scenario is time to go home. Yeah, that's not punishment. That's not punishment at all. Being given a ride home. You can't stay here, sorry. Imagine if you went to a bar and they were like, all right, everybody, we're closing up shop. You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Actually, we changed our minds. We're giving you all rides home. It's like, okay. I don't want to go home. Well, yeah, we're getting a ride home. Once you get home, you figure it out, but you can't stay here. Sure, thanks for the ride. The mandate's here, my friends. They can cope and they can seethe. But I will not tolerate, and I expect it, Republicans sitting on their hands. Now, here's what you can expect. Right now, what we're looking at in the House, current numbers, Republicans have flipped 3 seats. It's a 94.7% chance they win with 223 seats. It's not strong. There are a lot of Republicans that are going to be in moderate districts, and they're going to be very, very reluctant to make major change. But I say you this. If the Republicans take the mandate on election security and do what they can to make sure that these laws are put in place properly where they can, because the states are in charge, you won't have to worry about losing re-election to a Democrat. I take that back. If you do the right thing, our worst case scenario is going to be that Democrats moderate and become more conservative leaning and abandon the far left. AOC will be isolated. She will have no choice but become a more moderate leaning liberal. And she'll make every excuse for why she is, because she just wants to win popularity. Do the right thing. You have 2 years. I know the midterms will be coming up in 2026, and Democrats will likely strike back. But if we do the right thing, I think the American people will reward you. But I tell you this, if Republicans sit on their hands and do nothing, Democrats will come in and say, why did you vote for the guy? He didn't do anything. He played politics the whole time when you gave him a mandate. And that's how you lose. So I say to all the Republicans, do your jobs. We're looking at setting up shop in D.C. because we're about an hour and a half away from D.C. And we want to set up a studio in D.C. So that way we can have more members of Congress on the show. And I know we got good people. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert are gonna stand up. They may not like each other, but I know that they will push back. I hope Mike Johnson does the right thing, but I do know there are a lot of what they call squishes. These Republicans are going to be too scared. I don't want to lose re-election. It's not about you. It's about doing what you can right now with this mandate to save this country. And if the Republicans in the House refuse to stand up and say it must be done, then we're done. Now, Lisa Reynolds, she worked on the Hill for 12 years. And she was saying they're not going to do anything. They're not. I largely agree. But I do think Trump has changed things. I think with Trump as the leader of the party, the mandate is clear. And anybody who defies the populist mandate, not just the popular mandate. The popular mandate is the will of the people. Trump won the popular vote. But the populist mandate is those who are truly paying attention and demanding serious change. Those that have been in Trump's base for a long time. If these people defy that, they're at a greater risk of losing. So for the moderate Republicans that are worried about losing re-election in 2 years before he even started, if you betray the populist movement, you're going to lose anyway. You will never win. You have one choice. Stand up, get the job done now, pass the bills, secure our elections, secure our border, bring jobs home, end these wars, work with the Senate and work with Trump and get the job done. I'm having a great time, my friends. This is a good day. It's wild. They're cleaning up the party behind me. And I may crank out one more segment for you. I know the schedule's a little different today. I may move the schedule a little bit because you know what I think one of the challenges is I do 3 segments, 6:15 and 6:30. I started doing those again, and they clutter each other up. I know it's kind of silly. I don't know why I do it. So I think it probably makes sense if I spread them out. So maybe we'll do 10 noon. I don't know, 10 o'clock, noon, 1, 4, and 6 might make more sense, and maybe 6:30. But maybe I'll move one to earlier in the day so that it's easier for y'all to watch. But hey, smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know, become a member over at timcast.com. I'm on X and Instagram at Timcast. Follow me there. You guys, you're legends. We have given them a November 5th that shall never be forgot. Let's go. Got more segments. I think I got one more coming up. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next segment.